Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago, the beautiful voice of Dezii, the artist. Of course, I thought it was Evanescence there for a second, and you had to correct me. Welcome, and we have on set also Rachel Collymore, her manager. Ladies, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having us.
I know that song was one of your earlier songs. Your vocals are incredible.
Thank you.
Who did you collaborate with for that particular song?
I actually worked with producer Anson Soverall on it. Something that we sat down and we were going through some music that he had, and it was the one that struck me.
Wonderful.
The beat that struck me the most. So
How long have you been singing, and can you walk us through your musical journey?
Okay. Well, I've been singing for most of my life, but if you would put a number to it, I'd say 18 years. And I started in primary school, and then I started recording when I was 13, 14, moving along into competitions. I entered everything. I was in Soundstage, Party Flavor, Digital Rising Stars. I was in totally local, every competition you could think of, I entered. Yeah, and from there I traveled. I went to LA to perform at the World Championships of Performing Arts. And I've been performing since. I've been performing, I've been writing my music, and I write my music based on experiences, so I'm always writing.
You're always writing your own music. What genres of music do you sing?
I sing a wide cross-section, so I do R&B, jazz, pop, reggae, soul, neo soul. Basically anything that I feel, really feel.
I'd like to welcome into the conversation your manager, Ms. Collymore.
Hi, good day.
Now, we're talking about an International Innocent Children's Victims Day on June 4th. And
yes.
Tell us a little bit more about it, because I understand an album or some new music is about to be released.
Yes, she's going to release her single, Power.
Power.
Dezii will be the best person to talk to you about power in particular, but we chose this day because of the message that is tied into the song and also the experiences that she had growing up as a child. So I will actually refer to Dezii for her to tell you about her life experiences there.
Power.
Okay, so well, I wrote Power from an emotional place for myself, because I have to constantly remind myself to keep motivated to go after my dreams. So the actual lyrics in the song Speak to Me is about, encouraging a little girl to follow her dreams. But on a larger scale, it is to remind the world that girls, yes, boys, but girls in particular, across the world are faced with many different trials. Child marriage being one of them, issues with education being another. And even in homes, I don't remember the statistics right now, but there's such a huge and high rate of domestic violence that ends in child death within the Caribbean itself. And I've been through quite a bit, especially in my childhood, of little elements of all of the above. So this song is really, really personal to me, but it's a positive song, encouraging to go after your dreams.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Ms. Collymore, what exactly is the International Innocent Children's Victims Day?
Okay, it's to recognize persons who would have survived and who would have suffered at the hands of violence. It is also to shine a light. Okay, children are our greatest resource, I would say. They are the future, and therefore it is necessary to highlight these ills in society, in the world, and I think the UN took initiative to highlight this particular day to eradicate children's victims who would have been children at the point in time. And I will also say that it's important for us to, in our local communities, to shine light on the issue, because as Dezii mentioned, we are also witnessing these things right here at home.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of just looking outside, but looking inwardly as well, and also to pay attention and be that, I guess, safeguard and protector of our nation's youth.
Now, Dezii, you would have performed and participated at the inaugural Canadian Soul Exchange Forum in Canada, was it? How was that experience?
Actually,
This is going to
what's
happen.
coming up. That's in July. And that's actually what we're doing fundraising for right now.
Yes.
The Canadian Caribbean Soul Exchange Forum is happening in July in Winnipeg,
Canada.
Canada.
Yes.
And when we get up there, we will be part of a panel discussing music. We will also be, performing and getting to work with Canadian musicians and So it's a great opportunity, not just for myself, but also as a representative of Trinidad and Tobago.
Did you reach out to them or they contacted you? How did you get in contact with them?
They contacted me.
They contacted you?
Yes,
so they would have been familiar with your music?
I would have sent them her music. For the past couple of years, we've been trying to create those avenues with Canada in particular. And so I usually send music out for persons to hear and give their feedback on the music. So as they are starting this particular initiative, they decided that they will have Dezii up there as the first of the inaugural experience to be a part of the initiative. So she will be the first Trinidad and Tobago representative for this panel discussion and also for this performance. She'll be performing at 3 different events in Winnipeg during that period, and we hope to really create stronger ties across there.
3 different events?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are the other 2 events?
So it's, as you mentioned, there's a panel discussion, and there will be 2 other initiatives that will be taking place at different venues in Winnipeg. Following that experience, we hope to go across to Toronto to further the initiative.
So there will be a fundraising event. It's May 29th?
Yes,
May 29th at the Big Black Box.
Yeah.
It's called Dezii Life, Love, Liberty.
Yes.
And this is to assist with travel expenses and
it is.
that sort of thing.
And
Yes,
to
it
complete
is.
the album as well.
So how can we get some more information on this particular event?
It's everywhere. It's on all social media. I am trying my best to spread the word across those mediums, but I'm also asking people to tell a friend, because that's the best way to communicate these days, word of mouth.
I will interject there. They can also go online on our two platforms, on Dezii's page at Dezii World, on Facebook, Instagram. They could also go on Power Media Hub and Facebook, Instagram as well. And we could, if you need to get further information, you could call us at 799-7056. That's 799-7056. Dezii's number 399-5331. And they can also email us at engage@powermediahub.com.
Okay. Well, this event, is it a concert?
Yes, it is.
It is.
What I decided to do was include some of the artists that I knew, because the talent in Trinidad and Tobago is so ridiculous. I mean, it is so amazing that I put a wide variety of genres into the show. So there's actually Calypso. That's Amrika Mutru. She will be on the show. You have an indie kind of R&B, that's Giovanna, right?
Yes.
You have Chinaka, who is neo soul, and I don't know what she is. She's a whole personality in herself. You have Young Rudd. You also have Brave Boy. He's more commonly known as Mark Hardy, but he's rebranded, so it's Brave Boy.
Brave Boy, yeah.
Right. And they are trap, hip hop, rap.
Yes.
You also have Keone Osborne, who is, if you think like Aaliyah, 90s style, and she's also a producer, and we have
Ziggy Rankin.
we have Ziggy. Just get there. We have Ziggy Rankin, who is obviously going to, slay the stage, right? And we have Zakia Gill, who will be doing spoken word. So it's a full experience.
Yes.
And I'm really, really looking forward to it because of the dynamics in place. And then let's not forget John, because he's the soul of the entire thing. His music is that old school meets new school R&B. And his voice is, if you were to place it, not saying he sounds like anyone, but if you wanted to place it, you can tie him to, I don't know, Anthony Hamilton meets John Legend.
Kind of
vibe.
Yes.
So it's a mix of a show.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, you're very confident and successful. You've traveled to many places, Ellie, as you mentioned, performing. What would you say is next for you?
More traveling, more performances, song releases. We're working on a music video for Power as well.
Yes.
And I would like to actually involve a lot of little girls, not just little girls, like 8, like 10, 7, 5, a wide age group. Because I also believe that we don't highlight areas of occupations that are uncommon to women. For instance, I recently performed at the Girls in ICT Day.
Yes.
And we have a very low percentage of women in IT and ICT.
Yes.
And, come on, that's something that we are apt at. So, I mean, why not?
Yes.
And then there are how many crane operators that are women?
Yes.
We have power lifters. One of the girls that has agreed to be part of the video, she's a female boxer. Her name is Kelly Mohammed, and she's so tiny that you would not assume that she's a boxer. And I mean, you probably know her. You know her. When you see her, you're like, oh, yes, I've seen her. But she's so tiny, And these are all things that people don't realize, that women, hey, we're here doing it, and we have that power to do that. So.
No, it sounds wonderful. You make it sound as though this career has been a walk in the park. However, when chatting with other artists, they always talk about financial constraints and even lack of the opportunity for airtime, radio.
Yep. Well, I would say that is slowly changing. Not the funding part, the airtime part, because as artists are becoming, I am no longer saying that radio stations are not providing the opportunity. I am saying that artists are becoming more consistent.
Yes.
Artists are now producing material that stands out across the board, so that radio stations, one, they can't argue that they're not relevant with their music. They're not...
and the quality is not there.
They can't argue that anymore. So that's something that's changing. As for funding, however, we need to support each other more. That's always my song. That's my song all the time. We don't come out and support each other as artists, and we don't come out and support each other as Trinidadians. And people don't like it when I say it, but as Trinidadians, most of the time, we need someone to validate the artists before we start to support them. So if we as artists supported each other to begin with, then people would start to pay more attention. So it's just those are the issues really. And when from there you can work on funding, because if you believe in me, then somebody else may take me seriously as well. And yes, the things are being put in place. I won't go into that. Things are being put in place to support the industry that is developing into an actual industry now. But right now, funding is the issue.
Let's talk a little bit about your image, your identity. I just glimpsed some really cute. What are those on your hair?
They are pearls. They're little pearls. I found them in Funky Fish in Westmore. I like to look for little quirky things, so I actually go to Quirks. Right? And they have a lot of odd things. I like things that are different.
Yes.
So even my hair is not that I'm trying to be extra with my hair, but teal is my favorite color.
Yes, mine too.
Hi. Teal is my favorite color, and I ended up going by my friend, and she had some other color. So I was like, I must sit down here and just, So that's just that, It's just me being creative. And I mean, your life is short, so live it,
Let's talk about stage presence and you fighting the nerves. Are you usually nervous and then it just goes away? How does it work for you?
I don't think it's nerves anymore. I think it's adrenaline. I think it's like, oh my God, this is happening. Run.
She's right, actually.
Yeah, I found a way to get out of my head, which is, I sit down, I calm down a bit before I get on stage, because I think a lot about what is about to happen. And because prior to having management, was so involved in everything, like the tiniest detail, then, I'll be going on stage wondering, okay, so did I organize for the guy to play this? And, and because I have now that ability to just actually focus on performing, I just get to go on there and enjoy myself. But there's still that feeling when you're getting on there, and
it's inevitable. You could be doing this every day and there will still be those nerves. Thank you so much, ladies. Definitely a pleasure chatting with you. Closing comments.
Yes, sure. I would like to include that tickets are available. We did not talk about the tickets. Tickets are available at Cleves on Frederick Street. The tickets are currently 2-on-1 for $160, and advance if you're coming alone, it's $100. And you can call those numbers that we mentioned before to get more information on the event.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for being with us. News is up next. Stay tuned.